I travel a lot over the last 20-some years, teaching these kind of trainings that I'll be teaching in those countries and the four capital cities in Australia. And I always find the groups in Australia and New Zealand, I haven't been to Singapore yet, but I've always found the groups in Australia and New Zealand particularly welcoming, supportive, friendly, interested, engaged. I know that you all down under, what we call down under, are hungry for trainers from the Northern Hemisphere, and the appreciation I feel is always just huge. And then not to mention the beauty of the countries and the fascination with the different flora and fauna and stars and the water going down the drain and the other way, and all those things that us Northern Hemisphere people are fascinated with in about the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
But it's the people. It's always the people.
Yeah.
The main thrust of these workshops is in paying attention to what the structure of working with trauma that was first proposed in the late 1800s by Pierre Janet, the phase-oriented treatment model. And that phase-oriented model puts an emphasis on establishing stabilization and safety before working with trauma memories. And with the understanding that stabilization and safety can be a goal, an endpoint in itself, because not everybody is going to benefit from, and not everybody is going to want to work with trauma memories, and nobody should ever be forced. For the course, looking at really with an emphasis on building stabilization and safety, and emphasis on phase one, and with lots of tools for that, and then also tools for distinguishing which people who may want to are going to be good candidates for working with trauma memories, and which people might not be good candidates for that. We'll spend a good amount of time on the body's nervous system, looking at using the sensory nervous system for developing dual awareness, and the autonomic nervous system for regulating arousal. And I've evolved some of my understanding of the autonomic nervous system and how to think of it, and how to guide professionals in what to look for in their clients and in themselves to be able to regulate the autonomic nervous system. And we'll also look at the possibility of different types of freeze rather than a single type of freeze. And all these tools with interspersed with relevant films and some exercises, some practice, and that at the end of each day where people are willing, I'm happy to have individual therapists come forward and briefly present a case and get some supervision on the spot. It's always a good way to integrate what people have been learning on the course to have some practical ideas for practical application. So that's where possible and where people are willing at the end of the day. And then I structure that in a way that keeps things fairly efficient, so that I can usually do like 2 to 4 of those at the end of each day.